Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I have been tagged by Jason at Jason's Weird Reads. Thank you, Jason, for the ratings and review tag. So what this basically is I think it's pretty much just kind of wants to get a feel for how each of us as booktubers rate and review books. All right, what our process is, what our system is, or whatever. Anyway, the first question, it wants me to go ahead and tag people, so I'm going to tag Pax Panic, Marie McWilliams, and E.D. Lewis reviews for this tag video, or for this tag. So if you're watching this, consider yourself tagged, and of course I'll put your names in the description also. So the first question is, how do you know you've just finished reading a good book? Is it a feeling or a thought response? I think that's going to be different for everybody, and I'm not really sure which one it is for me. The fact that I wanted to finish this book, I wanted to get through to it to the very end, and also probably how quickly I read the book, although right now I'm in a really bad reading slump. I'm reading A Horseman by Christina Henry, and I'm enjoying it, but it's taking me about a month to get halfway through it. I just don't have, I don't have the inclination to read like I did last year, but then, you know, my life has kind of changed, so that's kind of understandable. But for me, I think personally that if I realize I think that I've read a good book, it's like I wanted to finish this book. And the quicker I finished it, probably that's going to indicate to me how much better it is from one book to another. A good example of that would be the Bain County series, which is a series of werewolf novels that takes place in this place called Bain County. I don't remember what state. I don't know if he ever said that, but yeah, this is werewolves galore, and I loved it. I mean, because it's just, that's my style of book. That's the type of book I read. You know, so for me, I guess it would be a feeling response. All right, that's the best answer I can give you. These are very impromptu answers, all right? Number 3, when you begin to form your review or rating, what is the first question you ask yourself? First question I ask myself, because I don't feel like I'm that good a reviewer. I've had people tell me that when I review a book, they'll put great review, but I'm thinking, are you being nice or do you really mean that? And if you do really mean it, thank you. If you're being nice, well, I guess thank you on that one too. But for me, it's kind of one of those things where I don't take notes. You know, when I read a book, I don't take notes. So I have to think, okay, what was this book about? Let's get the synopsis down first. And in my own words. That's why I try not to read the synopsis when I do a review, but sometimes I have to, and then I give my thoughts. So basically for me, it's like, what am I going to say about this book as far as what is it about? How am I going to put it in my own words? That's how I do it. So, excuse me. Number 4, do you use star ratings? Why or why not? Okay. I used to use star ratings, but I don't really like to use them that much. And it says, if no, what language do you use to convey the quality of a book in your reviews? If I enjoyed a book, I try to be as enthusiastic as possible about to show the fact that I enjoyed this book. And I try to use the most positive adverbs, adjectives, and all that to let you guys know, hey, I really enjoyed this book. And the same goes with if I didn't like a book. And I'm getting to where I really don't like to post bad reviews of books, and I think it stems from the fact that I've had authors send me books and they go, hey, could you review my book? And I'm like, sure, send it to me. And they send it to me, and I start reading it, and it's just like, oh, no. So usually what I do with that is I just write the author and tell them, say, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be finishing your book. I'm not going to review it. I don't want to mess up your algorithm or whatever that's called. So I'm not going to do it, and they're appreciative of that. You know, they're appreciative that I at least took the opportunity. You know, of course, I don't see the reaction when they're typing everything. They could be like, you know, you little son of a bitch, you know, why are you, I'm going to kill you or whatever. But it seems like most of them are appreciative of that. And it seems like, and I'm not trying to trash anybody, but it just seems like there's a lot of booktubers out there that just seem to get off on trashing books. And I just don't see the point in that. I mean, I just don't see the reason for it. And it's none of the booktubers that I comment on. It's none of the booktubers that I subscribe to. It's usually ones that I'm not subscribed to and don't want to be. All right. Okay. And then there's the second part of this one, since I answered no. Does this form an informal rating or ranking? I don't know, informal rating or ranking. To me, all my book reviews are informal. I mean, I'm not a professional, for sure. I don't get paid for this. So I'm going to just say informal, so to speak, you know. All right, number 5, do you believe every book has its perfect reader? Does this contradict the idea that a book can be bad? A perfect reader. So we're talking about somebody that, like, let's give for example an instance, George R. R. Martin, A Song of Ice and Fire. So does that mean when he was writing this book, he was writing this with a particular type of reader in mind? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think he was. Because I am definitely, you know, not the type of person that's going to pick up a fantasy book. But I did with A Song of Ice and Fire. I've read the first game of the book, A Game of Thrones, and I enjoyed it. I'm stuck on Clash of Kings. I can't seem to get through that one, so I'm not really sure do I want to finish this series or not, and I've got all the books. So far, he's still writing. I get a feeling the guy's going to die before he finishes the next book, you know, and I think he's got 2 more to write. But I don't think there is a perfect reader. You know, I think you read what you like. I don't think you're going to, I don't think that, no, I don't think every book has its perfect reader. You know, I mean, because, like I said, sometimes you can pick up a book that you just didn't intend to read at all and enjoy it. And that's what I did with Game of Thrones. And then I think you could also possibly pick up a book that you think you're going to absolutely love and you're just going to be so disappointed. So, I don't know. I don't think there is a perfect reader. You know, and I'm sorry if my answers are just really off the cuff or off the key here, but that's the only way I know how to answer these. All right. Number 6, what book that you hated have you recommended? I've never recommended a book that I hated. Okay, that's even when I was doing the well, you guys know I just got finished with the last video for the 50 years of horror fiction. And none of the books in that, from 1972 to 2021, none of the books are books that I read and did not like. I could have recommended The Terror, and I didn't like that book. A lot of people did, but I'm thinking I don't want to recommend this book because I didn't like it. All right, I didn't even finish it, okay? The same goes with Elevation by Stephen King. I hated that book. I mean, with a passion. I mean, it's one of those rare books that I felt like throwing in the trash can. I didn't, don't worry. I know there's some people out there going, oh my gosh, you harm books. But no, I didn't do that. I think the only one I might have put in there that you could say that I hated would have been Ghost Story. But I didn't hate it. I don't think I liked it as much as everyone else. So yeah, I don't recommend books that I hated. Let's see. Number 7, what makes a book good, bad, or great by your evaluation? Oh, good grief. How do you answer a question like that? Like I said, if I start reading this book and you draw me into it and I keep wanting to read and want to read and want to read it until I get to the very end, that kind of indicates that it's a great book to me, or at least a good book. And the same thing with bad. If I get through, and I have DNF books on the first page, okay? I have done that, and I will do it again. I'm not ashamed to say that I do it, because I'm not going to waste my time reading a book that I don't think I'm going to enjoy when I could be reading a book that I do enjoy. All right, so yeah, it's just basically, am I driven to get through this book? Do I want to finish this book and not feel forced to finish it? That's my way of saying it. That's how I do it. Number 8. When evaluating the quality of a book, do you have specific criteria or aspects of the book, such as character development, that you consider? Does this change if you are writing an in-depth review versus just thinking about the book for enjoyment? Oh, God. Okay, I don't know who, I'm not sure who came up with this tag, but you're hurting my brain. You know, and no offense, I'm just kidding, but, I don't really think about stuff like that. It's just, I'm just the type of person, I guess I'm a feeling reader. You know, I don't sit there and go, oh, you know, they didn't do this with this character, I'm not gonna finish this book. Or this character didn't do this when I think he should have done this. I'm not gonna finish this book, you know. Because basically I think that's kind of pretentious. I don't know. But, yeah, no, I don't really have any kind of thought process for stuff like that, or evaluation. It's just like, did I like the book or did I not like the book? Did I like the characters or did I not like the characters? Like, okay, good example. I think it's Red Station by Kenzie Jennings. I've got the book down here. I believe it's Red Station, but there's a character in that called Clyde. Clyde is a woman, and Clyde is a very... she's a badass, okay? I loved her character because she reminded me so much of the character in You're Next, played by Sharni Vinson, Erin. And she kind of reminded me, she was kind of like the Liam Neeson of this book. She had this particular set of skills, and, you know, and she would, pardon my expression, she would fuck you up, okay? I love that character. And also in the Anno Dracula series, the character of Genevieve Dudonay. She's a 500-year-old vampire. She's very suave, very charming, intelligent, and I loved her character. I did. Give you an example of bad characters that I absolutely hated. Let's talk about The Ruins. You want to read a book about a bunch of morons? Then just read The Ruins, and it's about killer plants. Spoiler alert, that's what it's about. And by the time this book is over with, you are going to be 100% cheering for the plants. That's how bad these idiots are, okay? So, yeah, it's just like, yeah, for me, like I said, reading is a feeling process. I don't really know how to answer that question. I'm sorry, okay? Number 9, do you consider star ratings or average ratings when choosing books to read or add to your TBR? Sometimes I do, but... there's other times I want to read a book so bad, it's just like, I don't care what you said about this book. This is my chance to read this book. This is my opinion, or how I want to read this book. You know, for instance, before Goodreads and everything, I read the book Son of the Endless Night by John Ferris. I loved it. I've read it about 3 times already, okay? And then I read the reviews, and this one guy is just little Mr. Smarmy and giving his little, you know, little pissy little 2 cents or whatever. I'm like, screw you. I don't care if you like the book or not. I liked it. And if I'd have read the review before I read the book, I probably would have been just like, I don't care. This sounds like a good book. I'm going to read it. Okay? There you go. Number 10, who on Booktube does reliable and interesting reviews of books that you know you can use to decide if a book is for you or not? What makes their reviews so good? I think the first person I think about with this one is probably either 3 people. Either Lydia at Typical Lydia, or Regina at Regina's Haunted Library, or Merce at Harpies in the Trees. Those 3 to me give some of the best reviews, and they still are very down to earth, very honest. I don't feel like when they give their reviews like they're pandering for the camera or pandering to the crowd. They're giving their honest opinion on whatever books they're talking about. Like Merce likes Merce, she likes books by Darcy Coates. And I've actually read some books by Darcy that she recommended, and I enjoyed. But I've also also started one book, The Haunting of Lee Harper, that I wasn't enjoying, so I didn't finish it. I might go back and finish it, and that's no slight on Merce. And the same thing goes for Lydia and for Regina. They're all three of them are very informed reviews. I always feel like they're sitting in a room with me, talking to me about the book, instead of being where they are and where I am. So yeah, all those three have been so helpful with their ratings and their reviews, because they're just so very well done and personal, I guess you could say. All right. And my battery is running low, so I'm trying to get through this quickly. It's one more here. 11. Does that or those booktubers use different language than you to evaluate and review the overall quality of a book? And I think they mean, do they talk about the books in a different way that I would? Of course they do. Of course. They're probably all, well, let's say for all three of them, I think all three of them, they're a lot calmer than I am about a book. Because you guys have seen my reviews, and you know that if I hated a book, I am just like, I'm all over it, and I'm just like, you know, wanting to tear my hair out and everything kind of thing. You can see that I'm pissed off, you know, and like for Dead Inside, you guys know how much I despise Dead Inside. But then for a book like the Bain County series or something like that, you probably have seen how enthusiastic, because, you know, I'm one of these people, when I start talking about something I'm very passionate about, my voice starts to elevate. You know, it's like, okay, let's talk about Pink Floyd. You know, boy, I will start off just like nice and calm, like, oh, I love Pink Floyd, they're awesome. Hey, have you listened to Dark Side of the Moon? Oh my gosh, you got to hear this and everything. Or Led Zeppelin. Let's do Led Zeppelin. Talking about Led Zeppelin. When the Levee Breaks. I love that song. See, that's what happens with me. I get, you know. Anyway, so yeah, they definitely use a different style of rating, or how their language, how they convey their language. They're a lot calmer, you know, and I think they're doing it without any kind of substances or anything like that. I think they're just calm people. Me, I probably need some kind of substance, you know, and I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, that is the that is the ratings and review tag. Those are the questions for it, and those are my answers for it, and they are definitely the best answers I could possibly give you. I wanted to be as impromptu with these as possible. I started this video twice, and if you really, one of these days, no, you don't want to see me behind the scenes, because if I get frustrated with a video and I don't feel I'm saying the right thing, I probably have made up some swear words when making videos. So anyway, that's it. That is the ratings and review tag. Like I said, I tag Pax Marie Pax Patting Marie McWilliams and E.D. Lewis Reviews. And until next time, take care and stay scared. Thank you. Bye bye.